What's going on, guys? Let's cover today's price action. Today is September the 30th. So, not going to lie, not going to say that September has been the best month in terms of price action, especially the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I felt like, moves are a little bit more choppy. They are tending to consolidate the markets a little bit more than just getting those right out of the gates, all day trend type of moves. Normally, the first move of the day tends to be the fake out, and then you kind of see that reversal followed by some chop. So what do I mean? What was I looking at today? We're covering the Nasdaq 100. Again, we're going to be looking at the 5-minute time frame to start. Now, I had a trade idea that did not play out this morning, but something that I was looking at was this swing high from pre-market. Okay, so 24,845. If we got over that, we've got a lot of room to kind of stretch up into this linear regression channel. Now, we did touch this area later on in the day, but it didn't happen when I wanted it to. So off the open, kind of got caught with my heels in the mud, had to take a step back and wait for something else to happen. Because what I was looking for initially, I was looking at the 200 SMA, 50 and 20 SMA all kind of stacked up here. Okay, notice how choppy this price action was. It was definitely a range bound open, to say the least. If you're a scalper that likes to scalp in between the range, you probably did fantastic. For someone like me who plays breakouts and breakdowns, wasn't necessarily the best price action. But just because price action is not great doesn't mean that you need to go on there and start throwing on a dozen trades. Sit back, have some high conviction in whatever thesis you're willing to play in terms of risk, and just commit to it. Okay, and it's either going to work or it's not, right? Again, remember, with trading, you could never predict or try to guess what the outcome is going to be of any one trade. You just have to make sure you're going to manage the risk on whatever it is that you're putting your money into. So there was a few traders inside of Evolution Traders community that took this short. Now, idea behind this short, again, other than, it was going down, was if you kind of look at the previous swing low from pre-market right here, there's a definitive swing low. Okay, so this is about an hour and a half before New York session opens. Right here, and let's actually see, right here, you guys should be able to see that. Right here, there's a swing low. Okay, so I was looking at this range. I was also looking at this range to the downside as well. So what I was looking at is, even if we did kind of pull back into this range, I was expecting maybe, because of the areas of support, I was expecting maybe a sweep and then a grind higher, and then boom, we take this level out, creating a little bit of a breakout play off the open. That did not happen. So when that did not happen, I was not ready and not prepared to take this immediate short. Now, this was a very good play because as you can see here on this chart, the linear regression was sitting down here. So that was your area of support. So between this range, right, was more than enough room to take that scalp. That exact range is looking at from 24,785 all the way down to 24,740. So you're talking about almost 40 points, 45 points ish that you could have made here on the downside. Now, again, if you're a scalper and you're looking for 5 points, 10 points, 15 points, very, very good fast momentum trade. Now, here's one thing that I do recommend. If you do trade the first 5 or even 10 minutes off the open and you're trading momentum and you knock out a decent trade, like you're putting some money in the bank, walk away. Okay, because what I've realized that a lot of traders do, they think of hitting these quick trades as this is easy money, and now I'm going to make so much more money because I've already started off the day good. My mentality over the last few years has switched to, I just made some really, really easy cash. I'm not going to push my luck. I'll come back and try to do this again tomorrow. So that way I can solidify and lock in that green day. I want to show you exactly where I took my first trade, and then we'll kind of wrap up this video. So 20 SMA play to the downside, did not take it. Again, remember, as stated, I was not ready for the short. I was looking for a trap long. Now I have to wait for something else to happen. What I was waiting to see happen was, once we pushed down into this linear regression, we started to bounce, we started to chop around. I wanted to see us get back over this 200 SMA. Why did I want to see us get back over that 200 SMA? I know this chart looks very, very confusing. There's a lot of stuff going on, and that is exactly my point. With all of these moving averages, all of this confusion here, I wanted no part of it, because we could have bounced into any one of these moving averages and got rejected at any point in time. Okay, so if you notice, there's a yellow line here, and I'm going to highlight it in blue actually. Well, actually I can keep it in yellow. If you look at the yellow line there, right here, this is your 200 SMA. Okay, so notice above that 200 SMA, I don't have anything but a Bollinger Band up here. So there was a lot of room and a lot of space if we were able to take out the 200 SMA. So my idea was, I'll let it continue to pull down. I'll let it continue to chop. I will let all of the range traders buy the bottom, short the top, buy the bottom, short the top, buy the bottom, short the top. Easier said than done. But there is range traders who like to trade that way. It's just not my cup of tea. What I was waiting for was, as we started to push back up, I'm looking at a couple of things, and I want to change this back to blue just so it kind of offsets everything. What I was looking at was, if we have a definitive low here, here, and here, we are now putting in higher lows. Okay, higher lows. So until this trend line gets broken, which it did here, there is no short position. So as long as we are riding this trend line and bouncing off, working our way higher, if we are able to take out that 200 SMA, I want to fire into that trade. And you can see here, it's also got confluence with the 20 SMA. Here's a 5-minute candle that closes back over its 20 SMA. It's still in the middle of the range, so not my liking here. I'm waiting for this right here. Boom. As soon as we break out and through this 200 SMA, I'm targeting that 30-minute opening high range, and I'm targeting that previous swing high from the pre-market. That was my one and only good trade of the day. Now, I was on a one-on-one call today with one of the traders in Evolution Traders, and there was actually a 20 SMA trade here, short, that I went into, and lo and behold, not only did it come all the way to the linear regression, but it touched it perfectly, and I only took this move here, right? So I only made just a little bit of a scalp there. It was like 6.5 points right there. Boom. And that was it. Again, that's my style. I'm a trader. I'm a scalper. I'm not a long-term intraday swing trader where I can just hold these big moves. I wish I could do it. I've tried to do it a million times. It just doesn't sit well with my personality. But again, anyways, knocking out another little trade there kind of adds to that first trade of the day. And considering the market for me today was not the easiest to trade because I'm not a range consolidation style trader, my setups were going to be far few in between. So with that being said, we have to be happy and thankful for what we were able to take out of the markets. Maybe tomorrow I get a better trend day. Now, again, if you were looking at buying the bottoms here off of the linear regression channel, those were pretty good trades, right? Like notice here, nice definitive hammer candles here, small bodies. You can easily use this low of day as a stop and just kind of sit in it. This is a nice all day trend here after lunch. Very, very big move to the upside. Again, it's a little bit outside of my trade window. You have to think about this as a whole. And I know a lot of traders don't like to do this, but if you're sitting around here off the open looking for trades, and now 30 minutes has passed by, an hour has passed by, 2 hours have passed by, 3 hours have passed by, and damn near going on 4 hours has passed by. This is a lot of mental equity that you have drained. You're very stressed out, putting your body and your mind under a lot of stress, analyzing, a lot of fight or flight modes once you're in these trades, trying to figure out what the market's doing. By the time this move actually started here, you're just mentally drained. You're beaten. Like, let them have it. Whoever wants to take that trade and sit around for 5-6 hours of the day, you guys can have it. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see if I can catch something like this off the open versus sitting through a lot of this stuff here. So very, very happy and pleased with my performance today. Again, not the best day in the world in terms of P&L wise, but overall, it's a green day, another green day that we can log for the prop firms. Remember, that's all it's about, especially if you're trading with these prop firms. Speaking of prop firms, Apex is 80% off sale with an $85 activation fee that's going to end today. So if you need those accounts, definitely take advantage of that. I'll see all of you guys on the next video.